When and how you fund your startup is obviously of critical importance. We have a number of videos that can help you with how. We have a video on the 5 most common sources of funds. We have one on crowdfunding. We have a couple on small business administration loans. We have a video on bootstrapping, and we even have a video on personal finance tips as you're in a startup. But this video is about when to seek funding. And that's a rather tricky thing sometimes. We've organized our website and we've organized the playlist on our YouTube channel into 4 stages of a business. The first one is, are you the entrepreneurial type? And what's your idea? The second one is how to start your business. The third one is growing that business. And then the fourth one is your business is in a mature state and you're thinking of expanding. If you look at funding, it's different at each one of those stages. In stage one, you just have the idea and you're still trying to figure out how you're going to do this. Many people will look for funding there, but you probably won't get investors. The reason is that all you have is an idea and all you have is yourself. So they're not going to put out their money for that really quickly. But there's some advantages of seeking funding in that early stage. The first one is potential investors will ask lots of really good questions, which will make you hone your idea and hone your business model. The second thing is they're going to have connections to other people who could be your mentors, could be partners, could be even employees at some point. And so those connections you'll start to make in that networking in that first stage if you try to get funding. The third thing is, if they're kind, they'll actually give you some good advice about honing your idea and helping you figure out how much money do you really need for a startup. People tend to be more positive than life really is. So that's the first stage. The second stage, when you actually start your business, that's a place where you actually might get some investors who are interested. You have more than an idea. You've actually created the business. Hopefully, you created a prototype. You're in contact with clients and customers. You have hopefully some sales or potential sales. And so now you have something that's more concrete that investors can sort of get their arms around, and they may be interested in taking the risk, but they also realize that this is the riskiest point to invest. If you ever watch Shark Tank or Elevator Pitch or any of those, one of the questions they always ask is, what are your sales so far? And what are your margins? And how much are you making? Those people who are in stage one obviously can't even answer those questions. Stage two, they're starting to do it. And lots of times you'll see people when they say, oh, we've only been in business for 3 months and I have 300 sales, but we expect to make 30,000 in the next year. And you'll see the Shark Tank investors sort of roll their eyes and like, okay, here we are. We're at too early of a stage to risk our money on this person and their idea. So you may get some people who are willing to take the risk at that second stage when you're starting the business, but it's best to, if you actually fund it yourself, for a couple reasons. One is you'll get a higher valuation later on if it's your money. The second thing is you'll have a chance to experiment and test things so that you'll be able to have a better business case to go forward on stage three. Stage three is when you're growing the business. You've got some customers, you've got some orders, you've built some infrastructure, you've got a business that has those early stages of that S curve, and now you're ready to take off. That's when investors want to get in and take advantage of the growth that you expect and they think they can see too. So stage three is when you're growing the business. That's when investors are most interested in you and your business. And that's when you can get probably the best deals in terms of rates and valuations and amounts of money. So the further you can get your product or your service along that curve of growth, then ask for money is a higher probability of getting it and better options. In the fourth stage, and that is you have a mature business and now you're actually to the point where you want to expand the business maybe into adjacent markets, or you're even thinking of acquiring another business to build yours even faster. That's another place where investors are very interested because you're a proven commodity by that point. They see that you know what you're doing, you can run a business, you can be successful, and they're willing to invest in you. The other thing you're probably thinking about in that is, how do I actually make the pitch to potential investors? And we have a video titled Pitch Deck, where we use the actual pitch deck that Airbnb used to get their funding initially. And you can model your presentation after the successful one that Airbnb used. So look for the pitch deck video in addition to those that we have on funding. Good luck.